Hi everyone, my name is Mridul and welcome back to my channel. Now I'm really excited for today's video. I've been meaning to give my room a makeover for a while now. I really enjoy filming my videos in my room and the background was getting very boring, so I thought why not switch things up. And you guys know how I love making everything under a budget. I love saving money. So of course this room transformation was also under a strict budget. I made sure to use things that I already had to DIY as much as possible and spend as little money as possible. So that's what I did and that's what I'm gonna share with you guys. So I hope you guys find this helpful and let's just get started with today's video. Now the first step is to clean, like from within. It just doesn't make sense for me personally to make everything look pretty from the outside. So the first step for me was to make sure that all of my drawers were super clean. Like I cleaned out my entire dressing table. By the way, a vanity tour is coming really soon. I made sure to clean my desk. I made sure to clean my cupboard. Just everything was clean under se. And once everything was really nice and organized from the inside, I started decorating bahar se. And for that, step number 2 is to find inspiration. So I sat on Pinterest for hours at an end trying to figure out what I really wanted, what was my vision for the room. And I took screenshots. I had reference pictures with me so that just I have like an idea and I know what I want to reflect like in front of me. Now step number 3, once you've have a vision for your room, we need to start mapping out things. So what I did was I took a book and I literally wrote down everything that I want in every corner. So it really helps to section it out. So for example, my wall above my bed, I wanted to add frames. So I wrote down what frames specifically I want, what are going to be the color of the frames. So it's really important to be specific. So I did that for every single section of my room. Now before I start showing you guys how I decorated everything, here's a really quick before of what my room looked like before I started like revamping and adding little elements everywhere. Now the first section that I started working on was my study table area. The problem that I had with my study table area was that I felt it was too cluttered, it was too closed up, not bright enough, and all the pictures that I had stuck on my vision board were just cluttering my space. So of course what I did was I got rid of all the printouts, like the images that I had. I got rid of the mesh on which I would hang all of these images, and basically I just cleared out my space so that I had a fresh canvas to start on. Okay, so I have some fairy light right here and I'm trying to do a sort of zigzag sort of a pattern. So I've marked some holes on the wall. My white wall is destroyed, but I'll clean it up later. So we're just going to drill some holes, 8 centimeter gap between each of them on the left hand side, and then we'll do the same on the right hand side. Now clearly I had set myself up for failure because I decided to drill the holes myself with a friend of mine, and that just basically ruined my entire wall. My plan was to have the entire wall covered in fairy lights, but more than the fairy lights you could see like the black holes of like the drilling marks. So I had to do something. I had to think of plan B. So the first thing that I did was I grabbed some eraser, like an eraser, and I started rubbing and getting rid of all the marks that I had created. Once I was done with that, I needed to hang stuff in order to cover all the holes that I had created. So I had this tassel hanging already from years ago and I decided to use that. Now you could totally make this at home. I will link a tutorial in the description box below wherein I show you how you can make tassels, because literally all that is on this hanging is tassels. And the second thing that I hung was this sort of macrame. I have a DIY coming on how you can make a macrame yourself, so stay tuned. So a total, like if you were to make this yourself, it would cost you around 100 rupees, because the only thing that you need is wool, and wool isn't really that expensive. And as for the third hanging, I had this dream catcher already. I bought it from Bali, so I used that to mainly hide all the holes that I had created. Now as for the 2 orange pots that you see hanging, I got those from Market 99 For the big one was for 69 rupees and the smaller one was for 29 rupees. So that's 100 rupees total. So instead of traditionally using them as like pots, I decided to use them to store things that I would need. Of course, to make everything look prettier, I hung this battery operated fairy light. I got it from Shein. I will link it in the description box below. It was for 100 rupees. And I think adding the lights just makes everything look like 100 times prettier. And lastly, I had this whiteboard, so I just put it there to hide the switchboard. The next area that I had to tackle was this seating area. This is actually the background where I would hang my flamingo tapestry. This was like a very closed sort of an area. So the first thing that I did was I changed the curtain cover. I added these white curtain covers. So I think that just instantly made everything look brighter and just nicer. I had bought this crochet hanging from Bali, so I just used that to kind of hang it and just give more texture to the background. Oh, and also the green wall that you see on the left, I do have a video on that as well. I made it years and years ago and I actually really like it. So I didn't want to get rid of it because it just added more value to my green corner. And as for these wall hangings, I have a video on how I've made these. I will link them in the description box below. In order to make them, it costed me 100 rupees total. I just hung them up just to show you guys what it would look like, but I do have these hangings again that I got from Bali, so I wanted to use them. And in order to stuff them, I used these fake like leaves and flowers and plants that I got from Crawford Market for around 100 rupees. And lastly, I added some cushions. I just had this cover already, and the other one, the white furry one, is I have a tutorial on it. It costed me again 100 rupees. So I will link that in the description box below. Now, as for this bookshelf wall that I had, I honestly didn't do much. I had this wooden plank like a signboard, but it was looking really old. So what I did was I just took my paints and just recolored the whole thing to make it look like new and fresh. That's honestly all I did. I used this hanging, I hung it up on the wall, and I also got rid of the two plant hangings that we had because I didn't want too many like plant hangings everywhere. And finally, we're on to the area that I was the most excited to decorate, which was the wall above my bed and the bed as well. So as you can see, I have a bunch of these frames with like pictures of all of my friends and family. I didn't want them on my wall anymore, so I got rid of them. Now, since I'm trying to save money, I decided to reuse these frames. So what I did was I got rid of the marble sticker paper that I had on it. So I had made this video where I show you guys how you can make these DIY marble frames. If you're interested, of course, the video is going to be linked down below. But now I'm bored of them. I'm over the marble frames. So what I did was I simply just peeled off the sticker and I bought a can of spray paint, white spray paint, which is for 100 rupees from any hardware store. And I simply spray painted my frames white and I let them dry for like half an hour and they were good to go. In the meanwhile, I took a picture of my wall with the frames on the wall and I just photoshopped all the screenshots that I had taken from Pinterest, like the images that I wanted to print out eventually. I photoshopped them on the wall just to see how it would look like. Once I was happy with that, I took the measurements of every single frame so that I could like take out printouts accordingly. The printouts didn't cost me more than 100 rupees. And once I had the printouts in my hand, I simply inserted the printouts in the frame and hung the frames up. So I have this chandelier on top of my bed and I had some extra like greens left from Crawford Market. So I thought, why not take them and put them on top of the chandelier? And I think it kind of worked. I mean, I personally like the look of like hanging plants. Clearly at this point you can tell that I really like green elements, so I thought it would look really pretty, and also when you switch on the light it looks even prettier in my opinion. And finally, on to the most fun part, which is making the bed. At least it's fun for me, probably not for everyone else. But to start off, I got a bunch of these solid colored cushion covers. As you can see, like the theme of my room is kind of orange and blue and just colorful really. So I got these pillow covers for around 200 rupees from Amazon. Amazon was having their sale, which is how I was able to get such a good deal. I will link them in the description box below in case you're interested. And as for the sheets, I just used my regular white bed sheets in order to cover the bed. I just set up all the cushions in line, and the tassel cushion cover I have made, I will link it in the description box below in case you want to make it. And finally, this is the big reveal. I really hope you guys like the way it turned out. I personally really liked it. And when you finally add up like all the money that I've spent, it's no more than 1,000 rupees. And yeah, that's it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and I hope you guys like my new room. I'm really excited to start shooting videos in the new background. I hope you are too. And by the way, today's giveaway is... For today, I'm gonna be giving away these 14 sheet masks by the Face Shop. Now, these are the only sheet masks that I use because I love them and nothing works as well as these. These sheet masks are biodegradable and great for the skin. So I'm really excited for one of you to win these and use these. In order to win the giveaway, all you need to do is subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on my Instagram, follow the Face Shop, and comment on my recent most Instagram post and tag 3 friends. Again, make sure to tag different friends for different giveaways. If you're gonna tag the same 3 friends for all the giveaways, your entry won't be valid. And yeah, that's it. I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Bye.